Because I watched the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan show when it came out. And then I got home from work one day and my parents were just booting up episode 3. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I got to watch it. Because after I watched the first 2, I was like, okay, this isn't like anything crazy that I need to watch weekly. And so I watched episode 3 with them because I was kind of planning on just like waiting until a bunch of them came out and then watching them all in a row. And episode 3 kind of just, I didn't like it that much. I think that the geography and just the story that happened in episode 3, it was so pandering to the audience. I will talk about spoilers if anybody cares. You have the whole thing in the first 2 episodes of him following Leia, trying to help her and get her back from her captures. And then you have that one chase scene, which is honestly the second worst chase scene that Star Wars has put out. Second to the Boba Fett Season 2 with the multicolored biker amputated teen gang, which was honestly embarrassing. That was an awful chase scene. But you have all that, which is like, it feels weird that he's leaving Tatooine like right away at the beginning when he needs to go help Leia. And then in this episode, you have this whole epic setup of him realizing that Vader exists and them confronting each other for the first time since he led him to burn on Mustafar. And it just felt so dreamlike in a bad way. That the geography was all weird. You have Vader plowing through the village, snapping people's necks with the Force. And then he senses Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan just runs away. He's like, no, I'm not going to use my lightsaber. But then 10 seconds later, he does use his lightsaber. And then it's like super glowy, which honestly just, it looks a little weird. It looked too saturated with the green and the red lightsabers. And then he's running through this place with a bunch of hills. And then they get to a point and there's like a bunch of fire. And then Vader just holds him up with the Force. Like he couldn't do that the whole time and tries to burn him. But then a robot comes and saves Obi-Wan. And then everybody who was told not to follow Vader follows Vader. And they just like, how far do they walk? And it just doesn't make sense. And they just go on that for so long. And none of that had any narrative weight whatsoever. Yes, we already got the moment of Obi-Wan realizing that Vader's there. That he still exists. Yes, we had the moment of them confronting each other. But then it just went on for so long. And then you have the side plot of Leia trying to escape. And it's just like, the episode started off, it kind of felt like a Mandalorian episode. Like one of the Taika Waititi Mandalorian episodes where they go to that other planet and they're chilling with what's his face? I forget the name that they gave him, but he's driving kind of like the desert taxi. Yeah, that part I was okay with. I was like, okay, it could set up to a good like ending. It's just kind of like the comedic parts of like the Mandalorian where the stormtroopers are like punching Baby O and everything. But then it just devolves into that just mess. And I think the biggest issue I have with the Star Wars shows is that they feel too clean. Like they have all this technology. They have this cyclorama set that makes the actors feel like they're actually in the environments. But I can tell you how every single shot, every single scene is going to start. They go to a new planet. Have the shot in space. Iconic. Okay. You have a landscape shot of the city. You have this tracking shot that is walking down the middle of the city with these alien creatures. Oh, look at this CGI character. We've never seen this before in the Star Wars universe. Wow, that's so crazy. And then we go into the close-up shots of the characters talking. And it's just like, yes, they have this technology, and yes, it's revolutionary. It feels lazy. There's no style to any of it. I wanted a story of Obi-Wan chilling on Tatooine, contemplating his relationship with the Force. But instead, he has to leave the planet in like the first episode. And yeah, it's just sad to see because Boba Fett had a lot of similar things. It felt too glossy. All the sets felt too perfect. It's Star Wars. These are like impoverished places in the galaxy, and they feel so clean still. Like if we go into Watto's junkyard, or if we go into Luke's house in episode 4, it's so dirty, it's so like shadowy, it's not perfect. Like they try to frame every shot to be in all of these shows. And it's unfortunate. There could still be potential with Obi-Wan. It's the one show that I wanted to be the best out of all of them. The one I was hoping that they actually get right, and it's like just mediocre so far. Because Obi-Wan is my favorite character. He's the best. Everyone loves him. Ewan McGregor, still. He kills it. Still. But alas, I am a bit disappointed at right now. Just want to vent my inner Star Wars fan feelings, but alas.